Good morning, esteemed viewers. Welcome to this wonderful edition of Bystanders at the Newsstand. I want you to know that you're a big fan. You're a big fan of Flip TV. I want to say a big welcome to this wonderful edition of the program. I am Christian Chuku, and we are going to be looking at the newspaper headlines. I want you to be aware that Flip TV Plus is the next destination. You can click on the notification button and subscribe to Flip TV Plus. Flip TV Plus on YouTube as we do our live programs from there. Okay, I have with me the Nigerian Tribune this morning, the Nigerian Tribune, and I also do have the Vanguard newspaper. Let's look at what we have in the Vanguard. Fuel subsidy removal will decide in June. We will decide in June. Increase in petrol price push more Nigerians into poverty. Increase in petrol price will push more Nigerians into poverty. That is from Abdulsalami. Will engage NLC on fuel subsidy, no role in removal. Governors is saying will engage NLC on fuel subsidy. Remove subsidy, subsidize education, health, Hebrew tells federal government. Remove subsidy, subsidize education, health, Hebrew tells federal government. Wants government to make building of refineries criterion for oil license. Wants the government to make the building of refineries criterion for oil license. There was an attempt to bomb me near Kawo Bridge. Buhari has revealed there was an attempt to bomb me near Kawo Bridge. NGO staff rapes 15-year-old female IDP victim commits suicide. NGO staff rapes 15-year-old female IDP and the victim has committed suicide. Insecurity Nigeria at crossroads. General Abdulsalami. Nigeria at crossroads. That's from General Abdulsalami. World Bank's $750 million complement federal government social investment job creation. School teacher kidnaps, kills students after collecting 6 million naira ransom in Kano. School teacher kidnaps, kills students after collecting 6 million naira ransom in Kano. As the House of Rep probe alleged disappearance of 178,459 arms and ammunition from police armory. Reps probes alleged disappearance of 178,459 arms and ammunition from police custody. 23. Those opposing zoning of presidency to South enemies of Nigeria, said Southern Middle Belt leaders. Those opposing zoning of presidency to South enemies of Nigeria, says Southern Middle Belt leaders. Okay, I have with me the Nigerian Tribune this morning. 2023 insecurity remains greatest threat. That is from INEC. 2023 insecurity remains greatest threat. That is from INEC. Our interface timely. That is National Security Advisor speaking there. Anti-zoning protagonist enemies of Nigeria. Anti-zoning protagonist enemies of Nigeria. Southern Middle Belt Forum. Reps to investigate missing 174,859 police firearms. And we have the main headline on the Nigerian Tribune. Decision on petrol subsidy removal to come in June. That is from the National Executive Council. Decision on petrol subsidy removal to come in June. Says the National Executive Council. Says NNPC unable to remit 200 billion naira to FAAC due to subsidy payment. Governors to meet Labour on planned removal of subsidy. Fayemi will not watch federal government inflict hardship on workers. That is according to the Labour. Nigeria at crossroads. Government must take advice in good faith. Abdulsalami. Nigeria at crossroads. Government must take advice in new faith. In good faith. We need capable leaders to overcome challenges. Article. We need capable leaders to overcome challenges. That is the article saying, speaking there. Dialogue only way out. Dialogue only way out. That's the Sultan. As Tinubu visits IBB. Tinubu visits IBB, donates 50 million naira to victims of banditry in Niger State. Tinubu visits IBB, donates 50 million naira to victims of banditry in Niger State. And we have another story that reps are probing. There's a report that 3 out of 10 Nigerians are suffering from mental illness. 3 out of 10 Nigerians are suffering from mental illness. That is all we have for today on the newspaper review. I will say a big welcome to you on this edition of Bystanders at the Newsstands. Click on Flip TV Plus, and be part of the program. Thank you very much. House of Rep are proving that 3 out of 10 Nigerians are suffering from mental illness. That's the report I saw this morning.
3 out of 10.
10 Nigerians.
And I hope they don't exempt themselves from that. And that is why we don't have a legislative house that is committed to the well-being of the citizens.
Okay.
And they should, of course, be subjected to psychological tests or psychiatric tests.
Okay.
Because what we are seeing, their impact is not felt positively. And they are, of course, the bedrock of the devastation or the damage so far that have been done.
They are the cause of the damage.
They are the cause of the problem, why most Nigerians are suffering from loss of memory and mental retardation, because when you are subjected to such level of depression and abuse of stress, mental stress, and people, you can't imagine the level of burden that is unnecessarily, laid on people by the so-called executive, by the so-called governments. It's very unfortunate. I beg, who go carry such burden and go run mad? And sometimes when we are talking, people might think that we are just here to entertain them. You see, they are criminals, including Buhari. Muhammadu Buhari is a criminal. Yes, by the system of course, by the system of the criminal justice of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigeria is Buhari is a criminal, established criminal, because the act of treason is a criminal offense. He has not been brought to book. He committed an act of treason against a constitutionally elected president of Nigeria. That is Shagari.
Okay.
And ever since then, the law has not caught up with him. That does not in any way, of course, exonerate him from being of such a level of crime against the state. So he is a criminal and should be tried as a criminal. If in a civilized country, he should be, of course, such level of felony is, of course, is punishable by law. And I didn't see, of course, Babangida condemning or pardoning him, giving him a state pardon. So he committed a treason offense against the Constitution. And I don't see any reason why, of course, he should remain under, of course, to the point of becoming the executive president of Nigeria.
Okay.
In the eyes of the law, he is a criminal. And, of course, anyone who truncates a democratic elected president should be held behind the bar.
Okay, what is coming?
That is why we, of course, including him and the rest, should be subjected to psychological examination.
Not Nigerians.
Not Nigerians, because they are the fundamental problem. Because with such what we are seeing, it shows that some people with sane mind are not in charge of the Nigerian policies or day-to-day running of this government. You see, if you have some people are in control, how can you be padding the budget? If some people, including they are the one padding the budget, the National Assembly and House of Representatives, it's because of the level of madness, they are driven by such level of unparalleled insanity. You see, driven by greed. You see, and the excessive and unabating greed to continue to acquire wealth at the expense of the people, at the expense of the masses. You can see young men carrying dried yam as if that is the only food left because there is no money to buy a better yam. You see, there's no better opportunity for the youths. This is as a result of the impunity, being enthroned within the Nigerian states. So, a man who committed a felony, a treason offense, still preside over the affairs of Nigeria.
Convicted by the court.
Which court need to convict him? Is it not an established fact that he usurped, of course, elected executive president of Nigeria? It is on record that cannot be erased.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, but the same crime that Gideon Oka committed and he was executed, is it because he was a northerner or what? Is it? They have not told us the truth. We have people within the corridor of power who exhibit some unimaginable level of madness. So I think that their recommendation is very, of course, is
inconsistent.
Not inconsistent, is rather coming late. You see, if we have done that by 2014, the likes of Buhari wouldn't have been within the corridor of power. The likes of the people we have within the lower and the higher legislative, upper and lower chambers wouldn't have been there. Because most of them, if not all, have suffered some level of psychosis. And that is why they are driven by such level of excessive greed. And they are not there to serve their own selfish ends, but to serve the people. But unfortunately, are they serving the people? That is the fundamental truth.
Reps to probe alleged disappearance of 178,455 arms ammunition from police armory.
So who should be blamed? Is it Chigozie Ndigbo that is saddled or in charge or trusted with such responsibility of storing or acquiring ammunitions? So they know the same, not them. And unfortunately, what does that suggest? If such a proliferation of arms entrusted in the hands of the government, of a system,
Policing system. That means we
could not be accounted for. Then who could be accounted for? You see, you that could be accounted for. They don't know whether you exist or not, and you claim to be a Nigerian. It's very unfortunate.
I have to.
You see, and now look at they can't account for the arm that was purchased by the people's taxpayers' money. If at all they did procure such arms, it could be it's a paperwork and they're trying to cover up. It's very unfortunate. This is a system you call a country.
Okay.
Can a country be run by a set of lunatics who does not understand the reason of being within the corridor of power, the essence of governance, which is fundamental to every the survival of every society. The priority of the welfare of the citizenry, the office of the citizenry must be given a priority. But do you see that happening in Nigeria?
Okay, Nigeria.
It's very unfortunate.
Government must take advice in good faith. That's from Absalami. We need capable leaders to overcome challenges. That's from Africa. And the Sultan is saying that dialogue is the only way out. What will you take from these comments from these stakeholders?
Well, whatever reason, I think they have the right to their own opinion. These are parts of those who should have no reason to still have the morality to comment on national issues. Most of them have the opportunity, but they failed woefully. They looted their own part of the common treasury and meted their way. You see? And now crying foul. They are the reason why Nigeria, of course, is what Nigeria is today. That's the reason why Nigeria, irrespective of the fact that we are naturally endowed with so many resources, Nigerian state remains the most retrogressive, of course, state in the world as it stands now, and has, of course, that has gained the Nigerian state the first position as the most impoverished region and the center of poverty in the universe. It's very unfortunate. I remain Chigozie Ndibo.
Thank you very much. Mr. Matthew Obianese. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Christian.
Yeah. Let's look at who is going to account for the 459 ammunition that has disappeared from the police armory.
Thank you for having me. Matthew is in there once more. You see, in Nigerian system, abnormality is almost like a norm. Because if you look at the level of proliferation of small arm in the society, it calls for worry. Who knows whether this is part of the reason you see almost every strata of the society, non-state actors move freely with arms and ammunition. But again, I do not trust the Nigerian system to have the capacity, to have what it takes to do that probe, and we see light at the end of the tunnel. Because if executive were the one talking about probe, I will understand that they have power to enforce whatever outcome comes of that probe.
Yeah.
Because if you catch your man back, all the areas, all the instances where National Assembly, whether under this administration, whether under Obasanjo, whether under Jonathan, whether under Yaradua, all the instances where the legislative arm decided to do probe, the result of the probe always come out and the executive will not give it attention.
Yeah.
The executive will despise it. So I do not see, except otherwise the executive is backing it. Look at when Babachi was investigated by 8 Senate or so, I mean 7 Senate, under Saraki, and he was indicted. If not for the insistence of that 7 Senate, and executive finally constituted another committee headed by Shibanjo before the man was indicted and shown the door out of that office. Otherwise, nothing would have happened. So what I'm saying in essence is, except otherwise, the executive is interested in that probe. The National Assembly probe is just a waste of time and a waste of resources, going by the antecedents of the probe being conducted by National Assembly in this country under this democracy.
So you are saying nothing will come out from it?
Nothing will come out of it.
Just a charade?
Except the executive is interested. Otherwise, nothing will come out of it.
Okay, you said, I remember last time you said this fuel subsidy removal will be decided in June. That's what the National Executive Council have come out to say. 3 out of 10 Nigerians have mental issues. That's from the reps, House of Reps.
How do they come about that figure?
There's a report they did.
By who? Who did that report?
They did a report. I think I'll read it out.
Because you know why I'm saying it.
Okay.
By training, I'm a statistician.
Okay.
So I know what it takes to conduct a survey before you draw an inference. Because the essence of conducting a survey is, if you gather data now, you analyze it. You use it for immediate use.
Okay.
You store it for future use. You use to extrapolate the trend in future.
Okay.
But as politicians, they can bandy figures. So that's why I wanted to know who carried out the survey, so that let me know. There's no point discussing on frivolities if a politician is just saying it. Okay. Or if there's a reputable organization that carried out the survey, then we'll take it on from there.
This is according to Vanguard. 3 out of 10 Nigerians are mentally sick. That's from House of Reps. He said House of Representatives had said that 3 out of every 10 Nigerians have one form of mental illness or the other, quoting the World Health Organization. I think this report is from the World Health Organization.
Okay, if it is the World Health Organization, then it is a reputable organization. Then we didn't have the full reports of that investigation or that survey. But be it as it may, we all know that Nigerian society is an abnormal society. We all know that there are so many things that are not working the way it ought to be. Yeah. In a state society, there are some fundamentals that are in place, like social amenities. You understand? If you even want to go to school in a state society, and you don't have the fund, you approach a financial institution, they mortgage, that is, they bankroll that your endeavor. And by the time the person graduates and start working, he pays back. If you have a business idea in a state society, you approach a financial institution, they bankroll it. As long as they have seen the credibility, they have seen the good side of that business proposal, the prospect, they will key into it. But in Nigeria, unfortunately, if you have good business idea, you approach a financial institution, they will study it. They will ask you to give them time. By the time you come back, they will tell you that they don't have the fund. And they will take that same business proposal and give to their cronies and bankroll it. I'm saying all these things for you to know the reason you see Nigerians go into depression. The reason you see Nigerians, a man will be driving, he will park by the roadside and jump into the lagoon. A man will be driving, he will park by the roadside and jump into mainland, into the sea. Because of frustration. Because the fundamentals that are needed to be placed by the government that will make life comfortable, they are eluding the masses. So I don't know the whole detail about that survey, but I'm saying that normally things that should make life comfortable in the society that are lacking in Nigeria. So that may be part of the reason you are seeing Nigerians being mentally deranged in that manner.
So according to the World Health Organization report, over 20 million Nigerians are suffering from one mental illness or the other. Probably that is what they use that.
Like I said, I don't know the detail, but I'm trying to say, based on what I can see in Nigerian system, what could be responsible for all this.
Okay. Nigeria at crossroads, government must take advice in good faith. Sultan is saying dialogue is the only way out. We need capable leaders to overcome challenges and take up.
Dialogue with who?
Concerned stakeholders, they need to dialogue because
there's
so many disagreements between.
The issue is, if you look at Nigeria the way it is today, you are talking about insecurity. You are talking about agitation for self-determination. You are talking about banditry. You are talking about insurgency. Now, if you look at the man who is into banditry, there is no justification behind his action to warrant negotiating with such person. The man who is going about kidnapping people in their numbers in Zamfara, in Kaduna, in Katsina, in Niger, killing and maiming people in the name of banditry. There is no justification behind his action to warrant the government entering into negotiation with such person. Because it exposed the Nigerian state as a weak state. But the man who is talking about self-determination is an ideology that is rooted in the Nigerian constitution and even in a UN charter which the Nigerian government is a signatory to. So whether Oduduwa agitators, whether Biafran agitators, the government needs to engage them constructively. Just the same way, British government had engagement when they were talking about Brexit. Because if you look at the issue of agitation in Nigeria, especially Biafra agitation, it is an age-long thing that we all knew the ethno-religious imbalances in the system, in the Nigerian system, that gave rise to civil war. Even as we speak, most of these issues have not been addressed. As we speak currently, we have a country where there's a grand norm, though it's fraudulent anyway, but there's a constitution that the government of the day is even flouting. Because we have other character as entrenched in the Nigerian constitution. As we speak, if you look at security positions in Nigeria currently, about 17 of them, as we speak, only 3 is in the south. You have about 14 in the northern part of the country. And this is a direct affront to federal character as entrenched in the constitution. So, if you must address all these issues, you must make sure you get to the basis of how the government is flouting the constitution. What I'm saying in essence is, if you look at, for instance, the National Security Advisor, Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Director of DSS, the man in charge of road safety, If you list them, they are about 17 in number. And federal character says that if you give a position, let it reflect geographical spread. But as we speak, about 14 is in the north. We have only about 3 in the south. So that in itself will encourage agitation.
Okay.
If you look at the current Nigerian composition, you have 3 major ethnic groups. You have 6 geographical zones. And in the south side, you have 6 states. South-west, 6 states. North central, 6 states. Northeast, 6 states. Northwest, 6 states. It's only the southeast that you have 5. So these are the imbalances that you needed to address to assuage the feeling of the people, to make them have a sense of belonging. So I think it is in those areas that Abdul Salami also is talking about negotiation, conversation, so that you address all these issues. Because you cannot have peace when you use gun to coerce people into this entity called Nigeria.
The barrel of the gun.
You can use that instrumentality of force through that barrel of gun to say, okay, this is Nigerian sovereign state. You must be a Nigerian, but you cannot coerce their mind. And until people sign on to a Nigerian project through their minds, you cannot have any meaningful development. Can two work together except they agree? Obviously, no. That is the word of God. And you are not coercing, forcing 3 different, distinct people to come together without allowing them to understand why they need to be together. That is where we come to sovereign national conference, national dialogue.
Okay, let's look at the subsidy removal. Do you think that Nigeria can survive with this subsidy removal in June?
You see what the government is doing. They are playing politics. You saw what the Senate president said the other day. He was playing politics. Because it's very clear. They already know where they are going. If you look at the budget provision, this year's budget, the subsidy provision ends in June. So by implication, the subsidy from July, there is no subsidy. Now, if you look at National Economic Council, headed by Shibanjo, they had meeting yesterday. Thereafter, 2 governors spoke, 1 governor from the north and the governor of Edo State. In all their arguments, they are trying to look for a way to bring this issue of subsidy removal to Nigerians and absorb themselves of culpability. Because their argument is that the way it stands today, that NNPC is already a public limited liability company. As such, that it should run as a public limited liability company, that the government ought not to pay subsidy again. And the government are afraid to realize that they are the one that synergize with the executive and the legislature. They synergize together recently to pass the petroleum industry bill that now gave NNPC that status of public limited liability company. Not minding the effect it's going to have on Nigerians. What we have been saying, and we continue saying, and continue demanding of the government is this. In as much as you are saying that if you are buying PMS, for instance, in Nigeria, premium motor spirit, between the range of 162 to 165 naira per litre, and you are saying that it sells 100% above that in our neighboring countries, what we are demanding of them is, let us refine what we consume. We are not asking you not to remove subsidy, but ensure that we refine what we consume. We have about 3 refineries. Do a thorough turnaround maintenance of those refineries. Let them refine to full capacity of installation. Dangote refinery will soon come on board. By installation, it will refine about 650,000 barrels per day. I think that will, in a way, take care of our local consumption. And we have said it here on this platform severally, that a modular refinery that can refine 1,000 litres per day takes 100 million to build. And if you look at the money that has been sinking into turnaround maintenance of our various refineries, it runs into billions, if not trillions of naira. So why not they use that money to build many modular refineries? So I think the government is not coming clean on this, because they are going to get serious reaction from Nigerians if they remove this subsidy in a way that it hit hard on Nigerians, there's no two ways about it. There's no pretense about it. If they remove this subsidy abruptly in June, Nigerians will react. The reason is not far-fetched. Because if they actually get to a point where it becomes unbearable, the people must react. Now, you are talking about use of biogas. You are talking about synergizing with automobile companies that have the vehicles that are operating in Nigeria. As we speak, there's no conscious effort from the government. Up to now, you have about just 5 months to the takeoff of the program to make sure that you have converted vehicles in Nigeria to run on biogas. So all we see is paperwork. All we see is press statement. All we see is the normal Nigerian way. So I'm putting it on record that if they remove this fuel subsidy abruptly, like the way we are seeing it, the government must get a reaction from the people because it's going to be a direct consequence of their action. There's no two ways about it.
Okay. Let's look at school teacher kidnaps, kill students, collect. You know that there's a young girl that got missing in Kano. She was kidnapped, and look at the young girl.
Nigeria is not strange to kidnapping. It's not an alien thing in Nigeria anymore. If you say somebody is kidnapped, the only thing we are looking at is how do government address this issue of kidnapping? How do government address this issue of insecurity? It's just that the government of the day is afraid that if they empower the other components, other level of governance, like the state and local government, to parade some security power, that people may use it to vulcanize Nigeria. There may be secession. But the way it is, they cannot continue staying under their position. Because it is evident that until you divulge power to the states, so that the governors parade some level of security power, you cannot address this insecurity. We have seen the states make conscious efforts to establish state security arrangements. It's a direct reaction from the security challenges we are having, like Amateku. Amateku came about as a result of the excesses of the headers, Fulani herdsmen, killer herdsmen, kidnappers.
The Amateku, what's the essence?
So what I'm trying to say in essence is, what purpose will those security arrangements serve, like Ebubago, like Amateku?
Why are you not calling ESN? Why are you not calling ESN?
ESN. No, the reason I'm not calling ESN is it is not recognized by Nigerian sovereign states. I'm not ignorant of the existence of ESN. I'm careful in choosing my words. What I'm trying to say, if you look at ESN, for instance, it came about as a result of the excess of the headers. But the reason I didn't mention ESN is because Nigerian sovereign state didn't recognize ESN. If the state governors, like the southeastern part of the country, establish a Bubago, the powers that be, the governors in the southwest, establish Amateku. And the police, the federal government through the IG police have repeatedly said that they do not have power to bear arms. And they have resisted every effort of the state governments to empower the security personnel. So how do you now address these issues of insecurity? Because every insecurity, every challenge is localized. The level or the system or the type of security challenge in Lagos may be peculiar to Lagos and different from what is happening in Kano. So if you use the antidote of Kano to address that in Lagos, you may be getting it wrong.
Okay.
And if you use the federal police, who do not know the terrain in Lagos, to address it here, you may be getting it wrong. But if you recruit the locals, empower them through legislation, like we have Amateku, they will do better. But the fear of the federal government is that if you empower Amateku, for instance, if you empower Bubago, for instance, people who already have armed will divide Nigeria. I think they should disabuse their mind against that fear.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Mr. Matthew, for that. Don't worry, let's do. Good morning, Mr. Rap.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah. Let's talk about 3 out of 10 Nigerians, that is according to the World Health Organization report, have mental issues.
That's very good. World Health Organization (WHO) is a branch of United Nations. I think putting this kind of stigma on Nigerians is where United Nations will live up to their expectations, their objectivities. That's very good. They have not seen the other way around, the other side. Yeah, they are right.
That means there's problem.
There is problem. We always control it,
Manage it.
manage it. You understand? To from escalating to full-blown insanity.
What's the
Yeah,
cause?
they're
What
right.
do you think is the cause?
No. You know one thing, I know. I like this opinion. You understand? I like these findings from United Nations. Don't blame me. World Health Organization is United Nations, UNO.
It's a branch of United Nations.
Thank you. It is United Nations. Are you listening to me? UNICEF is United Nations. Many of them. I don't know what I understand. I know that it's a branch of United
UNESCO.
Nations. UNESCO. She understand. See, they are fast, very quick on releasing this kind of findings to the members of the world to know that Nigerians, all of them, they are mad. They are not fast on releasing solution, profiling solution to Nigerian problem. That is where America and the Great Britain has come in. Over the years, Great Britain knows actually that they are the cause of Nigerian problem. When Elizabeth is there now, this man, that throw party, indoor party, what's that his name? Boris Johnson, is there. He knows. He is our problem. Do you understand? Ban Ki-moon, he knows. He was our problem. Are you listening to me? Perez de Kuala, there was a time he was there. Anyway, Emeka Anyoko is a Commonwealth nation. So then, Guterres Antonio, the Portuguese president, he is there now. He knows that he constitutes one of our problems. Do you understand? But on releasing this kind of, findings to the world, they will be quicker, very fast. They will be good on doing that. Because United Nations, I don't think they want good thing. They want good thing.
For Africa.
They prefer solution to African problem. That continent they call us back to sender. Provided I'm an Igbo man and we are part of this continent, there's nothing like Africa being referred to as a dark continent anymore. We are no longer that continent because I know that my God, we are the one that told the world that the only God of the whole universe is God of Abraham, God of Abiyama, Chukwu Okike Abiyama. That's what has set us free from being part of that continent, Africa, as a dark continent. So, let me tell you, when United Nations says that every average Nigerian, how do they calculate the statistics? 3 out of them, 10 Nigeria. 10 Nigerians, 3 out of them are mad. They are the cause of that problem. They are. United Nations, from 1945 till now, as Fela prophesied about it. Fela prophesied. Fela said, United Nations, which countries are united? United Nations, I don't know what I understand.
Yeah.
Which countries are united? Fela is telling you that no country of the world is united with another country. No countries of the world are united among themselves. Fela is trying to tell you about the geographical locations and demarcations among countries of the world. 197 countries. So many people don't know this. That the whole world is just 190-something countries that make the whole world. Some people will come here, they will call there or another platform, they will tell you continent of the world 243 is a lie. We are 190-something. 100 and something, 90-something countries. Are you listening to me? But when you talk about nations, nations are not the same thing as countries. When you talk about nations, nations are many. Nationhood, different from statehood. That's how it expands. Do you understand? But I just want to tell you, see, let me tell you the truth. Since 1945, before 1945, it was International League of Nations. I'm trying to break everything about United Nations because they are the one that brought this argument. See, it was International League of Nations before 1945. After the inception, escalation of Second World War from 1939 to 1945, to find solution, world solution, the problem in this world, they came out with that conference in New York.
Yeah.
How many countries were there then? You know, say you will fight hard before you become a member.
Yeah.
So that UNO in 1945, this is what we are seeing today as a result of that meeting, that conference, that League of Countries, League of Nations that came together and said, we are no longer International League of Nations, but we are United Nations. Look at what United Nations is doing today. Is this one of their objectivities? Do you know the objectivities, what I mean? It is not one of their characteristics or functionalities to allow people like the most populous black nation here to be suffering like this. That we are mad. No, let me explain it to you. Let's stop speaking English. It means every Nigerian, all of us, we are mad. That's what they are saying.
Most Nigerians.
Most Nigerians. We don't need to be so economical with points, with facts here. Let's explain to them that we have this thing too. Well, Christian, I know my brothers, Nigerians in diaspora, outside Nigeria, they are doing well, they are reasoning well. I know some good friends, my family members, my friends, and even myself. We are reasoning well. If I'm not reasoning well, I shouldn't be here telling the whole world exactly what is happening here without having any fear of the unknown. United Nations is mad. Let me name them. Perez de Kuala, Ban Ki-moon. Let me just remember all of them. Joe Garba. Okay, Joe Garba, that military man during Buhari, Babangida regime that head the United Nations. Maybe is a branch of United Nations. Kurt Weldon was when I was in primary school in the 80s. He was United Nations Secretary General. Kurt Weldon. He was a madman. I don't know whether he's still alive. Are you listening to me?
Papa is laughing.
Yes. Then Perez de Kuala, I think he was once. Then Ban Ki-moon, he was once. Then all the branches of United Nations. When Robert Zoelik was heading World Bank, I know. Do you understand? Then when the other man, before Christine Lagarde, is heading IMF, Lagarde. Thank you. He was a madman. Do you know the reason why he was a madman? The person that had IMF before Lagarde, he raped a Guinean girl or Gambian in New York, in America. That girl was serving like, I think, personal assistant or something like that within the office of IMF. I'm right. So he raped her. Everybody should go and Google it. The person that come in before was there before Lagarde, Christine. He raped. He was a madman. If he's alive, he's a madman. Lagarde is a woman I know. I love her. I think she's a French lady. Yeah. I don't know. She resembles the chair. Same semblance with Theresa May.
Even German chancellor.
Thank you. The chair same semblance. That's Merkel. Angela Merkel. See, let me tell you, Angela Merkel should stay aside now. Is a German chancellor or prime minister or whatever. But I'm trying to tell United Nations that Igbo man is not mad. Hausa man is not mad. Fulani man is not mad. A German is not mad. Fulani man is drunk with blood. I didn't understand. Which is why they are always after power. Power. Anything Fulani man knows in Nigeria is power. And they will come to you. He will telling you, this is your bag. Oh. Fulani man has right over there because Osman Danfodio told them that everywhere in Nigeria, the whole landscape belongs to them. And they migrated from Futajalo, Senegambia. My friend, Bystanders Gomez is listening to me now. He's from Gambia. We are good. I know him. He's a Fulani. He said he's from Jollof. Jollof is one of the tribes in Gambia.
Yeah.
He cleared himself. We are good friends. We yarn every day. Are you listening to me? Igbo man is not mad. Yoruba man is not mad. Somebody brainwash Yoruba man to be behaving the way he's behaving currently in Nigeria. Somebody brainwash Hausa man. Somebody brainwash Fulani man, telling him that he has right over the whole Africa. That's why Fulani man is mad, grabbing land from countries to country across Sahara Desert, even as far as Horn of Africa. Do you know where I mean by Horn of Africa? Where African map will be like Horn. That is Somalia, Ethiopia, Burundi. They are the Horn of Africans. Fulani man is there controlling everywhere because they are mad. With what? Conviction given to them 200 years ago by their founding father, Osman Dan Fodio. Christian, it's very, very provocative when I learned that United Nations is saying that Nigerians are mad. Why are we mad? United Nations is the one that should put everything in order, fix everything. Nigeria is like a dilapidated roof. The zinc is crumbling. The asbestos is crumbling. Even the floor has potholes. United Nations should put it in order because that is an umbrella that is holding the whole world together. Who do they think we are? They are fools and they are mad. Every member of United Nations, all those organs that is constituted of United Nations, I mean the components of United Nations, they are mad. Ask me why. Aisha Mohammed is mad because he is the deputy to the Secretary General of United Nations and he is from Fulani extraction. She's a mad woman. If she's not mad, she would have told Guterres, United Nations, the needful thing to do so that Africa will be very, very calm and a visiting home or heaven for the Europeans, Asians, and Americans. Even Antarctica is not left behind, and Australia. Because Aisha Mohammed is a mad woman, together with Antonio Guterres. Christian, please give me better question. Let me talk to my viewers, my beautiful, wonderful viewers over there.
Okay, 2023, insecurity remains greatest threat. INEC.
Oh, INEC is coming out with this, yeah. But I'm not seeing it as the greatest threat in 2015 when Buhari went outside Nigeria and invited Mali, Senegal, Chad, Republic of Benin to help him out to tackle down Jonathan, to trample down on Jonathan, to oust him out of Asurok. They tried all of them, they invited them. Buhari invited them in 2019 anyway. It played out because he wouldn't have done that. We would have no reason to do that during Jonathan regime. But in 2019, he was in control, invited all of them. The whole presidents of Fulani countries in Africa attended Buhari's what? Campaign. I think, if you like say, Buhari's campaign handler in 2019 was from Mali or Niger. No, with his wife. Nobody said anything, no. Femi Falana did not say anything. No, Femi Falana, who led the protest at Ojota, he did not say anything. My Baba, my good man, my father, Tunde Bakare, I respect him. He did not say anything. Those African countries that are present, what business do they have with Nigerian presidential election or Nigerian politics? What are they doing here? They were there like family. Buhari was sitting in the middle. Do you understand? Using their common languages to make sure that they arrest this part of the world and hold it on their perm, and which is playing out. Fulani is in control of this place. Fulani is archaic tribes.
But the INEC, they are not, they are saying...
Insecurity is caused by Fulanis. Buhari is a Fulani man. INEC caused it because Jega was the head of the umpire called INEC in 2015 that twisted or thwarted Jonathan's effort to stay here for 6 years. No, for 10 years. I listen to me. INEC thwarted that effort. They messed Jonathan under Jega. Atahiru Jega is what? Is now is turning out a new leaf. I don't know what I understand because people learn from their mistakes. When you are not among football teams, if you are just a spectator, you'll be what? Very, very quick to spot out fault. But when you get onto the stage to play, what happens? You will be fidgeting, scratching your head, knowing nothing to do. Jiga headed INEC that caused insecurity in Nigeria. See, the beginning and inception of insecurity in Nigeria started in 2015 when Jega rigged election. Rigged Jonathan out. Because all his homeowners, all his kinsmen, they gathered together. They said, Jonathan, Ebele, good luck. He was an Igbo man. I wonder who went and fixed that Ebele in the middle. Oh, you know, see, let me tell you. Jonathan is never an Igbo man, and he has never been. I didn't understand. So the insecurity you are talking about now, Buhari went and invited the Sahel countries to help him fight Jonathan. Could or should Jonathan win election in 2015? And see what is playing out today. It has translated to full-blown out Ansaru, bandits, kidnappers, and the ISWAP, Islamic State of West African province, just came yesterday. Now Boko Haram, Islamic State of West African province came from what? ISIS Emirates of what? Afghanistan. Afghanistan has fallen now. Yeah. America was humiliated. So they are here. Are you listening to me? The insecurity is bane of Nigerian development or whatever. No matter grammar where they speak, we will know. I don't know whether to understand. Bane of our development. Good insecurity. Who caused it? How comes that INEC is the one profiling this solution? Is the INEC not non-governmental again? Are they depending on government? Why? INEC's own job is to what? To make sure that electoral bill is signed so that we have it, 100% free and fair next time presidential election comes. So, but let me tell you now, what INEC is saying, well, if you ask me, I tell you that it's just, these people are just wasting our time. These people are just film actors. They are just owning television for us to watch film. Are you listening to me? INEC, what INEC is saying, whether he likes it or not, Nigerians should go to poll and invite whosoever they want. Okay. The right person. Okay? All those ones that are lining up, all Joseph Okalo. It says, if APC is zone presidential, ticket to Southeast, it will contest. Are you listening to me? What is this, my uncle here? Omahe, my uncle that has carved out Ebonyi State out of Biafra, that Ebonyi is not part of Biafra. Omahe, if Omahe contests, maybe they should allow Omahe, or they should have, let me use the word, they should allow Omahe and Ojo Zakalo under PDP and the APC. That is the needful. Then we the Igbos will choose our favorite, the Yorubas will choose their favorite Hausa Fulani. They will know out of the two, between two of them, who is better. Okay? The beginning of insecurity or inception of insecurity in this country started in 2015 when umpire called INEC, ousted Jonathan. Palace coup, you called it, but I said that it was the coup of the general among, not even between. You have Taraba man, the henchman there, Theophilus Danjuma. You have Obasanjo there. You have Babangida there. You have Abdul Salam with his monkish white biabia there. Right in the central stage or dimension of Jonathan's living room. You call it parlor or reception room. They were pressurizing him, go and accept. Because the generals believe that they are the one that could get it right for Nigeria. See, since inception of Nigeria, let me name it out to you. Generals. Only Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, generals and teachers. Classroom teachers have been ruling this country. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, he was a teacher. If you don't know, that guy speaks well. Nnamdi Azikiwe was just a politician. He went to school, he read.
The journalist.
Thank you. After that, who again?
Generals.
Till date. Teachers. Chagari was a teacher.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Do you know that Chagari was a teacher?
Yeah.
Thank you. Buhari, the gunman. The then gunman that pursued Chagari in 1983. He was a general. Another general overtake as Fela sang it. General Buhari, pursued general. General Abacha, pursued Shoneko. Are you listening to me? Then Abacha, who pursued Abacha? God spell it out to him that no man is indispensable. You are not an island. Come and get out of there. Then he went off. Then Abiola, Muchuda Abiola, who rightly won the election, supported by Igbo man. Do you understand? Yoruba man, Hausa man, everybody. They could not allow him. Because the military in Nigeria, they believe that they are the only one that have sense. That you and I are bloody civilians. Read Nigerian history and find out what is happening here.
Okay.
These guys on gun who have armed to the
Very
teeth.
much,
They arm themselves to the teeth. They are the one controlling us till today. I tell you, before we can get it right, it will be very, very difficult. But the only solution I know is that someone won a case at Abia State High Court. I've not spoken on that. He won a state. He dragged the federal government of Nigeria to Abia State High Court. That is state level. And let me tell you, he came out with what I said. The game stage has been thrown open. That is a match between southeastern Nigeria, the land of rising sun, and Nigeria. And you know the score? 1-0. I mean 1-0. Because they assaulted his father. They assaulted or desecrated Nnamdi Kanu's palace compound by doing what? Spilling blood of the innocent. And it is a sacrilege in Igbo land, aberration. You don't kill in the palace. The man died as a result of trauma. The mother died as a result of trauma. Nnamdi Kanu could not even be allowed to come and partake during his father's funeral. They did everything, and then Kanu today was illegally abducted from Nairobi, which is a thorough, absolute, definite infringement on his fundamental rights. And today he sued them to the court, and then Nnamdi Kanu has come out victorious. 1-0. 1 billion naira to be paid to that young man. I was laughing yesterday when some of my motor park analysts were just saying, who will pay that money? They won't pay him. I said they will pay. They were talking, and I said, did Abiola win election in 1993? They said yes. I said thank you. How did they? They said they annul it. I said you are wrong. They annul it, but later a particular government came and reinstates him, reinstall him a president. That is Nigeria for you. That is government for you. Nnamdi Kanu's 1 billion, if not awarded this year, it will be awarded next year. If not next year, in 10 years to come. Even if Biafra has gone, Nigeria should visit their constitution and pay that young man in the southeastern Nigeria his money. I'm telling you. So we are going back again. The Abuja High Court, we are staging ourselves, we are preparing ourselves to know how we are going to handle this subsequent the Kanu's appearance in the court. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raf, for that wonderful analysis this morning. I don't know if anybody... It's a general. Okay, we've come to the end of Bystanders at the Newsstand. I'm Christian Chico. Thank you for being part of that program. I want you to go to YouTube and click on Flip TV Plus. Flip TV Plus. That is where we're going to be having our live program, the Bystanders at the Newsstand. Flip TV Plus, and click on the notification button, subscribe, so that you can get us when we go live from tomorrow. We are going to rectify Flip TV as soon as possible. Thank you for being part of the program. I will say bye for now till tomorrow as we meet by God's grace.